If you're a software company and wants to manage your email campaigns correctly, this video is for you. Most software companies use a stupid amount of tools to manage simple campaigns. Launches in one tool, product updates in another one, and transactionals in a third one. Probably all held together with Zapier and a prayer. That's why I have been using Loops. It manages everything into one single UI. And the cool thing? I don't even manage myself. It's my agents who do all the work. So today I'm talking to all the GTM engineers out there. I'm showing you how I use Loops and how to get the most out of it. Without more talk, let's dig in. So this is Bacon, a little SaaS that I have built that basically monitors all your APIs and your website, and it gives you a health stat on everything that's going around. As an every size, its life depends on email campaigns. Newsletters, signups, onboardings, whenever people pay for my tiers, they need to get a receipt. Everything lives via email campaign. That's where Loops come in, one of the best infra for email campaigns out there. I can manage all my users, have a database about them, all their stats, events, triggers, and set every single campaign and automate it forever. So this is my Loops dashboard. Once you sign in, you see the home, the templates, but the main thing on Loops is the audience. Basically, we have two main components on Loops. Our audience, that are our users, and then events, that are basically triggers and a set of actions that will happen based on our users' actions. This is a quick breakdown of a user's profile. So for example, we have mailing list that we can add him, their first name, last name, email, then the user group, and a lot of different fields that are custom based on the different campaigns that we are running. For Loops, there are three main emails that we can send. First one is a campaign, basically a newsletter, an announcement, something that is just one time. Then we have workflows. Workflows are repeated set of actions that are triggered by certain events. They usually happen on sequence, so you can think of some example as onboardings or reminders that your free trial is going to expire. Lastly, we have transactionals, and transactionals are one email for a user right after a certain action happened. So it could be a receipt after someone pays a subscription or an email resetting their password. So now that we understand the main components about Loops, let's get some context. That is the first step to set our campaigns. There are four main doors to enter our audience, so let's check them. Now we are on audience and we can go to the arrow icons here, and here we can see the four different types of importing contacts that we have. We have integrations via Zapier or Stripe, CSV, forms, or API. I'm a huge lover of forms, so let's create a new form for our users. Before creating the form, we actually need a list. Why? Because we are going to have a newsletter that will have all the users inside of this list. Then we are going to send the form on our newsletter and people will be able to subscribe. So here we have it. 1 second, Bacon newsletter, it's a public list. And here we have the ID. Now we can go back to the audience and create our form. First thing we are going to change is the join whitelist. This is not a join whitelist, this is subscribe. Here on settings, we are going to select our list. This is where we are going to send the form. Now we can just copy the HTML and put it on our app. Once we put it on our app, we will see something like this, become a Bacon newsletter member, and here I can put my email. That's the no-code way to get some users, but let's be honest, most of them will not come for this form, but will come for multiple other ways. So one of the main ways to add people is via CSV. We just click on upload CSV and that's pretty all. Another way we can import users, of course, is via CLI. So imagine we are interacting with our agent and our agent can create contacts for us. And here we have our agent just created a user for us and here is the ID. So now we have people flowing in via CSV because they use your product, via your newsletter because they fill the form, or maybe your agent scrapped several pages and he got some user for you. Now we just need to know a bit more about them, and that means checking their fields. In my case, I have multiple fields such as first name, last name, source, user group, user ID. But for me, the most important thing is to know if they are subscribed or if they are on a plan and when did they sign up. For this, we will need to trigger some events based on this information. That's why we are going to go deep into workflows. We are going to create our first workflow using loops. This is how it looks. We have different cards and different elements that we can put. We are going to name this workflow Bacon Onboarding. And every workflow starts with a trigger. In this case, it could be a new user sign up. In this case, we are going to select our own custom event, and the type of event is going to be a sign up. Frequency is just one time because users are going to sign up only one time. Now that we have our event, it will trigger an email. We are going to set a welcome email for all those users that sign up for the first time. We're going to click here on new email. Here we have the copy. So hey first name, and first name is going to be a dynamic property that basically will take the first name field from all our contacts so the email feels more personalized. This is a generic email that of course I made with AI. On subject, we are going to put welcome to Bacon, and here if we check more information, we can even set a preview of the email where I'm going to put your uptime monitor starts here. Now let's go back and set a timer here. This means that we can select how many days we want to give the users to actually digest the email that we send, and in this case, create a monitor for them. I'm going to put just 1 minute because we are doing a demo, but this is usually days or maybe hours. Now we are going to send a branch, and it's important to know that branches are set on users fields, not properly events. This means that we can create two paths. One path for the audience that have their field activated as true, and for users that have their field activated as false. This means users that already complete login and users that didn't. So this audience will be on the field of activated and it's going to be true. So save segment and return. We are not going to set an email for these users because they already made everything correctly. Maybe just send a nice work. Let's create an email for the second group. So let's click send an email and new email. Here it is, the copy for the second email. So still there, create your first monitor. Basically, it's a follow-up for those users that didn't activate their account. Before finishing, I just want to show you that there's an experiment feature that we can also use. An experiment feature is basically a way to segment our audience and do A/B testings. So here, for example, we can set the amount of variance that we want and the controls that we want to apply. So for example, controls means that contacts not included in the split test will go here by default. So the difference between control and variant is that if we set 20% on control, means that 20% of the users that go through this path will have 100% chances of, I don't know, doing whatever we set on this node. But for the different variants, there's a randomized chance of proceeding to this node for certain users. So here we can set like different template emails or call to actions and try to experiment with that, collect some feedback. And I don't know, it's super useful to have it, not in my case, and probably not for your case if you are doing a simple first campaign. So now we have our workflow created, that is Bacon onboarding. So let's just test it. We can go to our Bacon app, start for free, and sign in. We just click on create for account and that's all. Now we are on the dashboard and we can create a monitor that we can call shell monitor and we set the URL. So creating monitor. And here we have it. We just created two different monitors with an average response and uptime. If we go to our email, we can see that I received the nice works. You created your first monitor. I'm using my personal account to send emails because I think it creates more founder vibes. And if we go to loops and check for my user, we can see all the different events that were triggered for us. So here we have the sign up, we have the two different monitors that were created. Those events trigger the emails that we just saw because of the workflow that we created before. The thing is that you don't need to follow exactly my templates. You can actually inspire on different templates that we have. We have more than 20 different templates for workflows, such as renewal reminders, cancellation follow-ups, and onboarding nudge. Then we have templates for different campaigns, such as investor updates or alpha launch and transactionals. This is a renewal reminder example. Hey, first name. This is a courtesy reminder. We have date, we have price that are all variables. Here we have call to actions and the founder name. We can click on check this template. We can see all the different notes that were already added to it. And here on email, we can check the email, see on edit, and here we have all the things that we can change. Right now has a theme applied, but remember we can create our own themes. So this is a theme one with the copy, and we can edit this. So maybe change the color to red for all the text, maybe the fonts, and for the button we can change it for blue even if there's no button here. We can add paddings, we can add background colors. Let's put it into green. Basically ruin everything because I don't have too much taste for emails. That's why templates are always a good option. But I mean, templates, emails, all these campaigns are fun, but there's one simple question at the end of the day. Did all these make us money? To answer that question, we can go to our settings and we can go to goals. And here we can create a new goal. In this case, I created free to paid. This basically means can we convert free users into paid users? We click on edit. This is the name. The eligibility is all contacts. And basically the conversion rate means the plan equals paid. Every single field of a user that has paid on the type of subscription will be counted for this goal. And we will monitor all the situations where the type of subscription change to paid ones. But the cool thing about goals is that we can actually attach them to campaigns. Here I created two different campaigns. So for example, this one is called trial ending and this one is bacon trial nudge. So I can attach goals to campaigns. In this case, I attach the free to paid. And the cool thing is that instead of reviewing campaigns based on open rates, I can actually measure them based on goals. So remember the goal that we set that was plan equals paid, and I can put the campaign to be 7 days. And on 7 days, I will actually track how many people change their status of subscription before and after this campaign emerged. Here on metrics, we have this dashboard for goals. Of course, it's zero because I just created this, but as soon as people start changing their subscription, these numbers will go up. Now, yes, we just cover workflows, we just cover campaigns. Now we just need to see transactionals. But I will make something different for this time. Instead of actually using the UI, I'm going to tell my agent to make it for me, because at the end of the day, everyone uses agents. I'm not saying that all the things that you saw on the video till now are useless. You probably learned the concept and how to use it yourself, and it's kind of fun to interact with the UI, but let's be honest, you are probably going to use agents. So here I have cursor, and of course we're going to use Fable 5 because I want to make sure this is one-shot prompt. And using the loops agent skills, because we have skills on loops, create and publish a transactional email in loops called upgrade receipt. And after it finished creating that, thanks the customer for upgrading to the paid plan and confirm their payment. Use data variables such as first name, amount, etc. Now we just need to wait for the agent to finish doing whatever he's going to do, and we can just sit, relax, and maybe drink some water. Remember, stay hydrated. That was pretty fast. Now we can see it on our UI. So upgrade recipe 2. And wow, this is stylish. I mean, it's way better than I showed before, right? So we have all the themes, we have the button to view the invoice, we have the plan name that is going to be pro probably, and the amount of money that the user just paid, and all the variables here. Remember that transactionals are for specific type of emails such as two-factor authentications, password resets, or receipts. This is not a campaign email, so there's no unsubscribe button, and even unsubscribed users will still get this email because it's important information. This means that if we come to our website and I upgrade to Pro and I fill the information, I will receive my receipt. So some minutes later, I just received my update. So from hello.happy.dev, and this is the payment received, all because upgrading my subscription plan. Knowing that this email was completely designed and sent by an AI agent is kind of incredible. So it's another reminder that, again, with loops, we don't really need to use the UI, but we can actually interact with our agents. As you can see here, there's a list of all the skills that Loops has. So they have Loops API, CLI, email sending best practice, and LMX. And you can download them. You can send it to your cursor, to your cloud, to Codex, whatever you are using, and start asking some questions. How to set my campaign? Which is the best way to, attract new users. You can even combine this with some marketing skills out there and some best practices for email marketing and start doing your own thing to grow your SaaS. Now, let's recap everything that we just did in all this tutorial. We basically got every single user that was using our product by getting them into our form. Once they subscribe to our form, they are now inside our workflow. Once they sign up on the form, we send an email sending welcome to Bacon and giving a call to action to actually use the platform. We wait a bit and then we send a follow up. If they are already signed up, finish off the line. If they didn't sign up, we send a reminder. Not only that, but we have different specific campaigns for specific actions. So, for example, we are giving free trials to some users. We have email templates for that are going to be sent, and they are attached to goals. This means that we are reviewing not open rates, but actually how many people we compare to paid plans. We manage every single operation, also from loops. If people upgrade their plan, this involves money, we send them a receipt, all automated with loops. We can manage all our audience via here, we can see their names, their fields, and even modify their information. All these interacting manually or via CLI with our agent. Framer, Linear, Perplexity, Granola, and even my own business now run on loops. So what are you waiting for? If you're a GTM engineer, if you're a software company, it's a no-brainer to start automating your campaigns. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial and see you in the next one.